Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hi, everybody. Today's Wednesday, February 3rd, and I am joining you today. I got a lot. I got a lot for you. We're going to try to power through these pretty quickly because there's so much to cover. Now, the good news is I'm pretty sure that I have this set up pretty well figured out, so I'll be able to go through these fairly quickly. First of all, here we are. February. I will let you know that February is my birth month. So yes, sometime this month, towards the beginning, it is my birthday. So yes, another year older, another year closer to death. Am I right? Birthdays were never really that big of a thing for me. But let me show you the first story that I have for you that I think is just absolutely mind blowing. Let me make sure I got this right. I think it's this one. Nope, wrong one. There we go. All right, here we go. I've got to remember on the sharing. Okay, so first off, we have Joe Biden redirecting Trump's $30 billion fund used for farmers impacted by the trade war. All this money that Trump set aside for our farmers, the people who feed us. Well, Biden wants to use it to tackle climate change, support restaurants, and kickstart other programs without waiting for Congress. So basically, Joe Biden wants to take the money that's set aside for our farmers, the $30 billion that they need in order to survive, and give it to people. Here's the thing for me. I'm going to tell you, the big thing for me is I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we have China that's going around buying up ranches and large tracts of land in Texas, Oklahoma, areas like that. If you make it to where our farmers can't survive, Chinese nationals come to them and offer them 2 to 3, sometimes more times market value. What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just go, no, it's okay, I'm not going to sell, I'll be all right? No, they're going to take the money, especially if they're having a hard time surviving, right? There's so much more. Let me let's jump back into this. Oh, it's mind-blowing. So let's talk about hypocrisy, right? Let's close this. So remember Citizens United, right? Citizens United is essentially a way for people to donate to campaigns and their name not to become national news. Trump campaign especially was targeted for those people that donated to his campaign. Oh, we're going to destroy their business. We're going to ruin them. The left has said, oh, Citizens United is bad. We need to know where all this money comes from, right? We need to know where every dime is coming from. We want names. We want names. So there you go. Joe Biden's $1.5 billion campaign haul reportedly helped by $145 million in dark money. Boosted by millions in so-called dark money contributions from anonymous donors who will never be identified. The $145 million he received eclipsed, blah, 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 blah. Democrats have long condemned such because it allows the candidate to dodge any scrutiny about the source of their backing. Donors of those funds do not have to be identified. Let's be honest here. We've seen it many, many times. Rules are only good for the people that aren't you. That's their motto. Rules are fine for you. Rules don't matter to them. They don't really care about the sanctity involved with campaign donations or any of that stuff. It was just a way to yell and get some people. And you're absolutely right, Matt. That's just one tiny portion of all of this money that just miraculously appeared. There's so much going on here. It's sickening. There's more, of course. If you want to talk about outright hypocrisy, Biden administration to house migrant teens at overflow facility in Texas closed under Trump. Now, quick summary here. Trump closed this. Biden said, oh, we're not going to do that, right? We're not going to house children. The facility in Carrizo Springs, Texas will house up to 700 migrant children within the next 2 weeks. But I thought Biden was going to let them all go. I thought Biden said he wasn't going to be I thought he said he wasn't going to do that. The temporary influx care facility will be used for children ages 13 and older who have been medically cleared of COVID. Are you seeing this yet? Yeah, Matt. Kids in cages. Where's the outrage? Where is the outrage? Where's AOC crying at the fence that doesn't have anything there, just crying at the fence? But this is so... Yeah, I'm with you. Where's AOC? So something a little more local that I want to point to you, thanks to Paul for this. An 18-year-old Crown Point High School student was arrested Tuesday on suspicion of having a handgun in her car on campus. Now, here's the thing with this. There's a lot of unanswered questions here, like a lot. School resource officers discovered the gun after school staff requested their help in speaking with the student, who arrived late to school that day. The conversation ultimately led the officers to search the student's vehicle. They discovered a .22 caliber handgun in the glove compartment of the car. They took the teen into custody. Here's the thing. Although the weapon was found on school property, the student never removed it from the car, and it was taken by our officers once located. She was forthcoming with the officers that it was inside her car. We will continue to work with school officials as needed on this matter. The principal said there was no suspicion of a weapon on campus, and there wasn't a lockdown or anything. That's it. That's all the information that we have. Did this individual have a license for the handgun? If it was in the trunk, it's actually can be legal. There's legal questions here that I don't have the answers to. There's a limited amount of information here. I don't know the full story. Obviously, this is all it says. I have a lot of questions. Here. My assumption is that because some on my shirt, because it was on school grounds, you can't have that. You can't do that. Blah 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 blah. So there's more, of course. Let me show you this real quick. Biden administration drops Trump-era discrimination lawsuit against Yale. Now, remind me again, isn't the left constantly screaming about discrimination and racism and all that stuff? I thought so, right? Lawsuit had claimed university discriminates against Asian American and white applicants. Because white people are involved. That makes more sense. The Biden administration announced on Wednesday it had dropped a discrimination lawsuit against Yale University, which alleged that the institution was illegally discriminating against Asian American and white applicants. While the judge must still sign off on the decision, Justice Department officials noted in the two-sentence filing in the U.S. District Court in Connecticut that it would voluntarily dismiss the action that had been filed by Donald Trump's administration in October. News. Whoops. Dang it. In yet another Biden reversal, the Justice Department notified the federal court in Connecticut that it is dropping its discrimination lawsuit against Yale University for alleged bias against Asian and white applicants. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It only matters when they want it to. Let's be honest. Plus, it's Yale. They have to keep that Yale money flowing in. We've all seen it. Here's in my opinion, one of the biggest stories of the night. National money flowing in to fight over Minneapolis Police Department. Now, back to the whole Citizens United thing and how people are, we have to know where the money's coming from, and it can only be for this and only for that. You'll really appreciate this if you love hypocrisy, right? National money is flowing into the political fight. In mid-November, the Open Society Policy Center, based in D.C., donated $500,000 to a new political committee, Vote Yes for Minneapolis, that wants to eliminate the city's requirement to have a police department. The donation, first reported by MPLS Take and the Minnesota Reformer, was included in a campaign finance report filed late last month. Minneapolis politics have drawn unprecedented scrutiny as city leaders and residents debate how to change policing in the wake of George Floyd's death and a dramatic uptick in violent crime. Representatives for the center, whose board members include children of billionaire philanthropist and Democratic donor George Soros, could not immediately be reached, nor could a representative for Yes for Minneapolis. Minnesota filings show a nonprofit called Yes for Minneapolis, which lists the same address registered with the state in December. That group has posted job ads online seeking a campaign manager to build support for an effort to change the city charter, eliminate the requirement to have a police department with a minimum number of officers, and, quote, promote community-led safety proposed by community members. The goal of the campaign is to win a majority support for a yes vote to change the Minneapolis posting said. The Yes for Minneapolis campaign will require extensive community conversation and political education to determine what the charter amendment should say. The position pays between $80,000 and $90,000. According to the posting, the campaign manager will work closely with leaders from Reclaim the Block and Black Visions, two groups that led efforts to end the police department last summer. Representatives of those groups couldn't immediately be reached. Last month, 3 Minneapolis City Council members, Philippe Cunningham, Steve Fletcher, and Jeremy Schroeder, introduced a proposal to replace the police department and remove the requirement to have a minimum number of officers based on the city's population. They have learned nothing. Let me just tell you, they have learned absolutely nothing. We have seen what happens when you, quote, defund the police. Minneapolis violent crime, which is said in this article, has skyrocketed. I've covered this before. It's out of control. It's absolutely out of control. And they are shocked and surprised. Let me be clear. The council members that voted to defund the police are amazed that violent crime increased. What? Really? Yes, really. So the last thing that I have for you, if you have not seen the Tom McDonald song or heard it, you should. I'm going to play it for you. It's an incredible song. I've been to his concerts. Very down to earth, very cool guy. He's really blowing up. He is at, according to this, 3,334,364 views. And it's 5 days, I believe, old. I'm going to play it for you so you can enjoy it, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. Fair use, because I'm rating it. There you go. Full screen and enjoy. Here, let me get this closer. Oops. Let me get this closer to the speaker so you can hear it. And here we go.
It's crazy, I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged. Association. All our childhood heroes got me too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame. They so fake woke, facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke, same songs. They so fake woke, facts don't care about your feelings. It's crazy how these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's the difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name, when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same. I just want to spend Thanksgiving Day with food and my family, without being accused of celebrating native casualties. We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are bigots, libtards if you're liberal. There's riots in our streets and it's just getting worse. Y'all screaming deep on the police, y'all are genius for sure. They're underfunded already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first. Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves. They so fake woke, facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what. They so fake woke, same songs. They so fake woke, facts don't care about your feelings. Use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin. Politicians are for sale and someone always makes the purchase, but you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless. If a man has mental illness, call him crazy, say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society. Get sick and take a pill. When the side effects get you high, you get addicted like these rappers dying fighting with sobriety. Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety, I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. They're trying to change amen to amen and women. How we let them make praying a microaggression. Instead of asking God for the strength to keep winning, we cheat to get ahead and then we ask him for forgiveness. Feminism used to be the most righteous of fights, but these days it feels like they secretly hate guys. I don't trust anyone who bleeds for a week and don't die. I'm just kidding, but everything else that I said is right. They so fake woke, facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke, same songs. They so fake woke, facts don't care about your feelings.
There you go. That is one of my favorite of his recent songs. Absolutely. And it all comes down to telling the truth. That's why he's so controversial. Like Jennifer says, he says what so many will not. He stands up and he yells it, whatever, because so many people nowadays are afraid. They're afraid to speak their mind because of cancel culture. They're afraid to say, that's ridiculous, that's stupid, because they're afraid they're going to lose their livelihood, they're going to lose their jobs, they're going to be ostracized, because that's what's happening. One of my favorite lines in this song is, there is a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. There's a lot of things. There are so many things that people have said that I wholeheartedly and vehemently disagree with. but I support their right to say it. There are some things that, in my opinion, are just idiotic, just another level of stupid. But they're allowed to say that. And I support that they're allowed to say that. We are entering a new era where it's not okay to say what's on your mind. It's not okay to go out there and speak up, because you will lose your job, friends, family. There are people in my wife's family that, because she isn't quiet like a mouse, because she speaks her mind, they have blocked her, they've unfriended her. These are family members, people she's known all her life, over politics. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, yeah, fair point, unless you're on the left. If you're on the left, then you can say whatever you want. You can call for violence against the president. That's perfectly okay. You can call for violence against supporters. All of that's okay. But nowadays, it's a crazy, crazy world we live in. And I'll say this, at least my children, my boys that live with me, at least they can look at something and determine the merits based on facts. They don't rule by their emotions. Even my 14-year-old looks at some things. Who, let's face it, Donovan's unique. For those of you who have watched a video with him in it, he has his own unique ideas, but he can look at something and determine whether it's rooted in fact or whether it's simply a dumb statement. That. And I'm going to tell you, Tom was on Fox News. Oh, by the way, let me give you the link for this. I've already put it on my Spotify and whatnot. Check it out. Get those views up there, because this is someone, again, for those of you not familiar with Tom McDonald, he does all of his own stuff. He doesn't have an agent. He doesn't have a manager. He's not signed to a record label. All of his stuff he produces with himself and Nova, his girlfriend, Nova Rockefeller. It's an incredible, incredible effort, and he's made a lot of money off of it now. Good for him. I'm happy for him. We're going to get just so you know, I'm trying to get my bookshelf so that we can clean up the background a little bit, and a couple other things. I really got to get around to painting that door. I'm looking at it now. Oh, the dog. I don't know if you can see down at the bottom, but when he comes in, he messes the edge of the door up, and it doesn't look good. This was my wife's office area, but now hers got painted. Just so you know, my wife's office, if you go look at it, it's painted, it's nice. Once we decided that I would take this over, then we completely redid a different room for her, and so I'm a little down on the importance list, but we'll get it done. Not a big deal. So that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Like always, I appreciate you coming. Oh, yeah. Hey, so I don't know if you've seen this. Speaking of, you want me to keep? You want me to keep Trump? The bookshelf should fit even with Trump there. There was some talk of maybe I should move him out, maybe put him somewhere else. But I like him. I see, there he is right there. I think it's awesome, but I think we'll probably figure out how we can incorporate. I'm probably going to end up taking down the Spygate poster. I'm going to move the flag to where the Spygate poster is. Right? Take the Pence off though. Yeah. I really, when I ordered it, I was like, I wish it just said Trump, honestly, because I've never been a big fan of Mike Pence, and especially after his actions, I'm even less so, but it is what it is. Yeah, maybe I'll cover it up with some white tape or something. What do you think? Trump Bergeron 2024? Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. I got a lot of content coming up. I wanted to share all the crazy stories and get you caught up on the Tom McDonald saga. Of course, they're trying to cancel him, calling him a racist, calling him all these names that the left loves to drop when things don't go their way. When someone dares to stand up and speak the truth, you can't possibly be an honest, possibly be someone who sees through the smoke and mirrors and ridiculousness. Oh, there you go, Flynn. Trump Flynn 20, yes. Trump Flynn. I could get with that. Absolutely. I was just kidding anyway. I'm still a little, still got a long way to go before we ever think about anything like that. Speaking of politics, I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to go for it again in 22. There are some people on my team that are like, it's not an option. You have to. We didn't, go through all this and set it up for you to try once and be done. And by it, I mean state rep. I don't think I'm going to mess with Congress. It's just too. I'm going to say this for those. I don't know how many of you have dipped your proverbial toe into the political game, but state campaign finance is so much easier than federal as far as for the treasurer, for the person figuring out the books and whatnot. So much simpler. Federal is nuts. Now, that's because you can get away with so much, but that aside, it's so much simpler. It's much easier, and I think I'll start there. But I appreciate you joining me. We're gonna wrap it up. Dinner's waiting on me. I did want to pop on though and do the video. Tell you I disappeared. Just been trying to get stuff situated. Donovan was sick today, so I had to focus on him a little bit. We'll talk to you soon. God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. We need it. We do need patriots. We absolutely do. And look, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, look into the situation on a local level. And even if you don't want to put yourself out there, even if you don't want to get involved and take the heat that comes with running for office, get together with someone who does. Get together with someone who's willing to stand up and take on the swamp, and we can make things happen. We can make things happen in our towns, in our cities, in our counties, and in our state. We can make it better. Good night, everyone.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beatty. Copyright 2021. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.